UTI can cause, if not attended, liver and kidney damage.
Not liver as such. Yes, if there is infection in the bladder itself, up till then it is not a very dangerous thing. If that
Mm,
infection gets any severe and it backtracks into the kidney tubes, which are the ureters,
mm,
which are bringing the urine from the kidney, it's a continuation of the tube, so it can backtrack. Although the flow is forward, ideally it should
mm,
not, but the infections can, and
mm.
that can give rise to what we call pyelonephritis, which is the infection of the kidneys, which can be quite serious.
Yeah.
Kidney failure is a little far, but yes, this can damage the kidneys because of the infection.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I mean, you really packed a lot of information in that few minutes of chat. So
I
let
hope
us
I
open the
gave the relevant
floor.
information because I tend to talk a lot.
No, I think it was very relevant, even though I was reading so much and trying to find
Mm.
out so that, questions have to be intelligent when the doctor is very intelligent. So I
Yeah.
was trying to find some information, some
Yeah.
understanding of UTI. So I learned a lot. I'm sure that everybody else would have also learned a
Thank you.
lot. So
Thank you.
Twisha is asking
Mm.
a question.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
she's
Trisha is asking two questions. I also have another question from another audience, one to one. Trisha's question is, please recommend some foods or diet to improve bladder health. And second question is, how often does one need to do a pap smear and mammogram?
Okay. So to start off with the foods, as such, there is no food I would say to improve bladder health. As I said, drinking enough water, limiting your coffee and tea from being excessive. Uh, and any other food, for example, which you have to go by your body feedback. Now, if you eat something like I personally feel like if I eat some certain type of green chilies, if I eat too many of them, the next day I'm like burning all over while peeing. So something that irritates your bladder, avoid it. If it doesn't, then it's fine. I don't think food as such. Yes, if you eat yogurt, that improves your vaginal health. Any fermented food, not just yogurt. Fermented foods improve your probiotic in the bowel and also
mm,
in the vaginal area, which prevent fungal infections. So, which
mm.
can indirectly help the bladder mucosa. And the second was, what was the other one? Pap smear.
Pap
Ideally
smear.
speaking, ideally speaking, there are few variables in the pap smear. You need to routinely have a pap smear every 3 yearly if you have a single partner and if you're HPV negative, human papillomavirus high risk negative. If your sexual history is more multiple partners, then you need to have it every yearly because you're at high risk. If you have HPV positive high risk, you have to have every yearly. And if you're over you don't have to have a pap smear if you've never ever had sex. If you're a virgin, you don't need a pap smear. And if you're after 65 and you are already had all the pap smears in your previous ones normal, after 65 you can stop having pap smears. If you are a single partner, like when I say single partner, married with kids, and you're like you've had all pap smears for a few years normal every 3 yearly, you can shift over to 5 years as well.
That's very good information. Otherwise, we are thinking we have to have it every year. Should I go? Should I not go?
No,
She also asked about
that is
mammogram. What about mammogram?
yeah. Mammogram, ideally speaking, it is only for women over 50 or somebody who's gone on hormone replacement. But
Okay.
however, that is what the protocol says. However, I've changed that because we do see quite a few people coming up in a younger age with breast cancers. So
Hmm.
I personally have started recommending to all my patients yearly once ultrasound scan of the breast slash mammogram.
Hmm. Okay.
There's
That's
nothing lost in doing once a year.
So I have one more audience question.
okay.
Mm.
Go on.
The audience
If
question
it's
is
come
this.
privately, please don't name them. Just
Of
directly.
course, Vasu, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, my question is, can having sex with a smoker affects the vagina and lead to UTI? Or which issues are connected with relationship with smoker, gutka eater?
No, not really. Gutka eater and smoker, they're damaging their own health. It's not, they're not damaging your health. So unless you're talking about passive smoking, if you're having sex and just going away is fine. If you're staying with them and having sex, then obviously they're smoking and you're passively smoking with them. And the second thing is the smokers might be more prone to, whether it's the male or you yourself, if you're smoking, you're more prone to HPV and all those things. So they may be more prone to HPV. They might pass it on to you, which makes you high risk for cervical cancer and things like that. So it's all very indirect. So just because a man is smoking does not mean that he's a dangerous guy to you.
Hmm. Okay. Understood. Is there any other question for anyone? Please unmute yourself and you can either ask or you can put the question on the chat. I see Swati has unmuted. Yes, Swati.
Yeah. Yes, Swati.
Sorry. Yeah. I'm drinking coffee as I'm asking you. It
No worries, no worries.
yeah. So two things, two questions. One is, does
Mm.
menopause have any effect on your bladder control as we age? Number one.
Mm.
And number two, recently, like whenever I drink coffee outside with friends, and if I have to drive somewhere, I'm like, I cannot drink coffee because I know I need to go pee really fast. So
Mm.
it's become a
Yeah,
problem, this coffee relationship.
yeah,
So, I mean, what can
yeah.
one do? Why does coffee have that effect on me?
Okay, so for the first question is, does menopause have an effect on your bladder health? Of course it has. As I was saying, the menopause plus the age at which you have the menopause, 50 plus, your collagen is all reducing and your pelvic floor muscle is becoming weaker. So your bladder support is less. And at the same time, the bladder mucosa and the vaginal mucosa are all thinning out. So the more delicate now, the more prone to
Right.
breakage, the more prone to infection. So obviously that's down, and the geometry of the bladder is also altered. Okay. So the second was, you're talking about what did you ask me, the second
Coffee
question?
relation, my
Yeah,
relationship with,
coffee. So
yeah.
coffee at the end of the day does not matter now. Coffee when you drink is a little diuretic effect. It makes you pass
Yes.
urine, it stimulates.
Yeah.
So with menopause and aging, what happens is your bladder is already on the verge of irritability. Now your regular coffee is also making you feel
Okay.
like that. Okay,
Okay.
so for that, the most important you need to do is what we call bladder training. So most of the time, because they want to, if they drink water, they want to pee. People tend to stop drinking water, and then the urine becomes acidic, and the bladder becomes very shrunk. So you need to stretch your bladder with drinking more and more water, holding that urine for a little while when you have the urge to pass, so that the bladder stretches and gets relaxed. Bladder is at the end of the day a balloon. You can shrink the balloon or you can make the balloon bigger.
I
Hmm.
am not
So
able to hold it in the middle of the night. I'm like, if like,
yeah, so no, so what happens is, what we tell these patients is that when you want to pass urine, just watch. I mean, what we not we tell, but I tell my patients is, you have to teach that bladder to increase the holding by, not by hours, by seconds and minutes, and take it very gradually. Every 10 seconds you have got, every 30 seconds, every minute your bladder is stretched is an additional point. So what I tell my patients is, you want to pass urine, quickly open your phone and watch Instagram reel. Nothing,
It's a
nothing,
good
nothing
one.
takes away your mind. Nothing takes away your mind like an Instagram reel. Before you know, you're already
absolutely
watching 4 reels before you go to the toilet.
great. Can I
Okay,
have
so you
one
need
more
to learn to
question?
stretch the bladder.
Okay, Swati, go
Sure.
ahead.
If
Just
Basu
last
is okay.
question. Sorry.
No problem.
If somebody feels like it's acidic down there, like in your panties and all,
Yeah.
is there a way to change something in the food or drink? People say sodium bicarbonate to make things alkaline, or is that not safe? I just want to know, can we change from acidic to alkaline down there, our
No,
biome?
yeah, you don't need to change. It's the body biome is in a certain set state. So if you're feeling like, you don't have to constantly go around changing it. If you're feeling like you started getting more infections, you started getting more irritability in that area, in that case, yes, when you have an UTI, I say you can drink any of those aerated drinks. I mean, watch the sugar in them, but you can drink any soda, plain soda also, which will actually alkaline for the time being. So there is nothing like permanently alkalinizing. If you're having irritation, yes, it can. But otherwise, if you take enough fermented foods like yogurt and various things, that will
Naturally.
generally keep your probiotic bacteria, which will balance that acidity.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swati.